Hey, what's up guys, it's GreenChris90. In this video I'm going to be showing you guys the differences between the three main VR headsets at this point and try to show you which headset suits you. The three main headsets being HTC's Vive, Oculus's Rift, and PlayStation's PSVR. To start off, the Vive and the Rift both have two 1080 by 1200p screens, and the PSVR is only one screen, which is a 1920 by 1080p display. While having a low resolution per eye, PlayStation states that its display has more sub-pixels per pixel, which makes the PSVR have less of a screen door effect. All three headsets have OLED panels, and they all feature a refresh rate of 90Hz except for the PSVR. PlayStation instead swapped graphics for a higher refresh rate, as they can go up to 120Hz, which is great for those who bought a PS4 Pro or if a game is very well optimized. Another place for the PSVR just stands short is the field of view, with it being 100 degrees instead of the 110 degrees like the Vive and the Rift. Now the recommended specs you'll need to run each headset. The Vive requires a GTX 970 or the equivalent AMD card, which is an RX 480. The Rift needs slightly less power, as it only needs a GTX 960 or a RX 470. The CPU that you'll need for the Vive is an i5 4590 with no AMD card given, but any card with around the same specs should do just fine. The Rift again needs slightly less power with an i3 6100 or the AMD equivalent of an FX 4350. The odd part is in the amount of memory needed, as the Vive only needs around 4GB of RAM, while the Rift needs double at 8GB. If you don't know if your computer will be able to run the headsets, I'll put a link in the description for a computer test to see if your computer will be able to run the headset, or if you need to upgrade a component of your computer. Both are easy to do, and you should definitely run each one to see if your card is VR ready. The last headset is the PSVR, which requires either the PS4 or the PS4 Pro. By upgrading the Pro, PlayStation states you can get better graphics out of the headset as long as the game will support it. The cost of each headset can also be a concern, as they are not cheap pieces of tech. Starting in USD without taxes or shipping costs, the Vive bundle costs $800. The Rift headset comes in at $600, but the touch controllers will cost another $200. The PSVR comes in 3 different packages with the headset, the controllers, and the camera, costing $400, $100, and $60 respectively. The CAD prices are also there, costing $1148 for the Vive, $1129 for the Rift, and lastly, $755 for the PSVR. I also have some advantages and disadvantages for each headset. The Vive has the best tracking with 2 base stations, as it has the largest area with good tracking and utilizes a good tracking solution, which is the 2 lighthouse sensors. It has a large variety of games to play, and can find everything from action-packed shooters to relaxation games you're on a beach. The headset is backed by Valve, which runs Steam, which for most PC gamers could mean the decision between buying the Vive or the Rift. The Vive also has the most games that are currently on the market, as new games are released usually every day for it, but some might not be as complete as others. Games like Fallout 4 are coming to the Vive though, so that is something to look forward to. Another reason for the Vive is the user-created hacks. Revive is a popular one, which allows you to play most Rift games on the Vive. The cons of the headset are how it is fairly heavy, and you can't currently just buy more base stations and controllers. While I can't confirm this on the Vive or PSVR, the Vive is always on when plugged in, which is something that I'm concerned about. For example, the headset gets hot, but if you keep it plugged in, it won't cool down for a while, which is around a few hours. The only solution in this is unplugging it, which makes you do a bit of work to get the headset ready for entering the virtual reality again. The Vive is also the most demanding headset, and you do need a beefy computer to run the thing. The last problem with the Vive is the marketing, as in Canada it is hard to buy the Vive in stores, or at least easily. If you want the headset now, you'll have to order it from the Vive store. This isn't any big issue, but it is only a small issue worth pointing out. The PSVR can be bought almost anywhere in any gaming related store, and the Rift can be found in almost any Best Buy, but the Vive is only found online. The Rift also has some advantages, as you can buy more controllers and base stations. This could be a large role in the decision if you look at the long run, as more sensors means that you'll be able to get better tracking. The controllers are also more aerodynamic and seem to be more comfortable than the Vive's controllers. The headset is also the lightest one of the 3, which can add to the comfort of the device. The last advantage is the audio, as it comes with a good pair of headphones. This doesn't apply to everyone, as I personally would rather just use my own pair, but could make you want to get a Rift if you already don't have a pair of headphones. To the disadvantages though, the games that Oculus really wants you to play can be quite expensive, and I haven't seen as many free games as I've seen on the Vive. The games on the Oculus store are pretty expensive, but that does mean they can pick up some more polished titles with a few extra bucks. Another problem is how you need a good computer to run it, just like the Vive, and how it can be costly to buy a good PC. My last point is the amount of games that are available on the Rift, as while most games are adding the Oculus Touch to the compatibility list, there are still more games that are available on the Vive. The PSVR also has some advantages though, as it is the cheapest option out of the 3. This is a huge factor, as the other 2 headsets can set you back a lot of money, which not too many people have. It has the highest refresh rate, which can help for motion blur, and also works with the PS4, which is the most sold console available on the market. The PSVR also has a lot of padding on it, which makes it comfortable, and all the games go through PlayStation. This means that developers have to polish their games more, as there is a chance that PlayStation could just ban the title. The headset also looks pretty cool with its lights, and the white makes it pop out, making it look futuristic. This isn't an actual pro or con, but the PSVR is actually the heaviest headset out of the three, but its padding makes it feel like it weighs less. Sadly, the headset does have quite a bit of cons too. Since the titles have to go through PlayStation, that means that there are less titles than the competition. The headset also runs off a console, which makes it not be able to run at high resolutions and falls short in that category. The field of view is 10 degrees less than the others, and the tracking system is old, which means that there's no room scale tracking and you can only be tracked for 180 degrees. The games are quite expensive as they are full titles, and lastly, there are no deeper settings. On the Vive, for example, if you paste one line of code in one of the files, you can super sample the headset, making the graphics look a bit better. This could mean a lot to more professional PC gamers, as if you have a good GPU, then you'll be able to pump out better graphics and frames for your headset. Sadly, you're locked to whatever resolution the developer set the game at, and the only way to get a bit better graphics is to buy the PS4 Pro. In the end, this generation of VR is pretty neat, and each headset has their pros and cons. If you're looking into purchasing a VR headset, then you'll need to look at what you want to do with the headset and which headset looks the best for you. For instance, if you don't like moving around and just want to be sitting, then the Rift might be the way for you. However, if you like moving around and want to try this new technology head-on with room scale technology, the Vive might be your best bet, even though you can buy more sensors with the Rift for more money though. The fact that Valve is controlling the headset could be another reason for the Vive, as almost every PC gamer knows the 10-letter name of Gabe Newell. Lastly, if you already own a PS4 or PS4 Pro, then you can get the PSVR, as it is cheap and is still a good way to first enter into VR, as they could release better tracking in the future. In the end, you will have to make the decision either buy into this first gen technology or maybe wait a few years when we can get more polished experiences. Thanks for watching, and I hope that I could help you decide your stand on VR and which headset suits you the best.
PlayStation.
Oh yeah. All right, no cream. John.